Hello and welcome to the MMAnytt live stream of the official UFC 244 weigh-ins. We are just a few minutes out. We are awaiting the fighters. And you can follow all the events and happenings of the official weigh-ins here on MMAnytt. We've got an interesting card, to say the least. We have the inaugural BMF title presented by The Rock, who will wrap the newly minted belt around the waist of the winner between Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz. And of course, there's a ton of other interesting fights on the card as well. In the co-main event, we will see Darren Till make his middleweight debut. He faces former interim title challenger Kelvin Gastelum. There are a lot of questions surrounding Till's weight, as he didn't actually get to the United States until yesterday, missing a lot of media obligations. So his weight is probably the one that is in question the most. He has had problems making welterweight before. The general consensus is that middleweight will be better and easier for him. But it remains to be seen if he makes middleweight. Moving down around the main card, we've also got a very interesting light welterweight bout between Stephen Wonderboy Townsend, two-time title challenger, and Vicente Luque, who has really just cut a swath through the ranks at welterweight. He doesn't make a lot of noise. He's not the one to talk trash or call people out, but he has definitely made an impression. He most recently is coming off of a very exciting fight with Mike Perry. Close fight, ended in a split decision. Some people felt it was controversial. Some people had Perry winning. But regardless, Luque did end up getting a nod from the judges, and he now sits at 6 straight wins. Wonderboy, however, will without a doubt be his toughest test so far. Wonderboy has a very unique style that's hard for a lot of fighters to gauge. So we will have to see how Luque fares against Wonderboy's fighting style. At heavyweight, Derek the Black Beast Lewis, known for the classic quote, "My balls was hot," will be taking on formidable Bulgarian Blagoy Ivanov, a tough customer for any guy. It's hard to look good against Blagoy Ivanov. He's had a couple very close fights. There were definitely some questions surrounding his decision win over Ben Rothwell. There were a lot of people who had Rothwell winning that fight. And it's a tricky style. It's like I said, it's hard to look good against Blagoy. But Lewis is a hard-hitting heavyweight, and I know most heavyweights are, but he truly is a heavyweight striker. And first up on the main card, we have Kevin Lee returning to lightweight to face undefeated Gregor Gillespie. I think that's a very interesting, underrated, perhaps overlooked fight. Gillespie is also one of those guys, a little bit similar to Vicente Luque, that he doesn't necessarily make the most noise. He's not necessarily the most easily marketable guy. He doesn't stand out with his personality as such. But what he's done in the octagon is definitely impressive. He is sitting on 6 straight wins, which is definitely impressive. He's actually stated that if he wins, that he will he is planning on calling him for title shots. Now, I think most people are in agreement that it will be very hard to secure in the talent-rich lightweight division. But it will be, it'll really take something truly special for Gillespie to be taken into title consideration. There's just so many stars at lightweight right now. But like I said, this is a monster card. Hello, Che Guevara. This is Sebastian Mendel Martinez of MMAnytt, veteran reporter here on site, New York. But yes. All right, just changing the angle a little bit here. So anyway, as I said, there are a lot of interesting fights on the prelims as well that you should be sure to check out. I think the standout fight is obviously Corey Anderson versus Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker, one of those guys who just he's got this magnetic thing about him, both inside and outside the cage. It's hard not to pay attention to Johnny Walker. He had hands down the funniest stare down yesterday as he tripped and dropped his phone and did his classic little Johnny Walker smile. I think some people were a little bit concerned that we might see a Tony Ferguson situation in that maybe he would get injured just before the fight, but luckily no injuries. I know some people thought that perhaps that was like a marketing thing. That's what Corey Anderson told me anyway, that he felt that Johnny Walker's an entertainer, he's doing that for show. But from what I heard from UFC personnel, it was definitely just an accident. That was just him just tripping. And if Johnny Walker wins against Corey Anderson, there is a case to be made for a title shot simply because he's become so popular as of late. And speaking of which, here's Johnny Walker.
.8. Right here, Johnny. 5 seconds. 5. Thank you, baby.
All right, next to the scale we have Jorge Masvidal.
Jorge Masvidal coming out now.
.696. Right here, baby. Hold it open. 5 seconds. 5. Hey. That was not 5 seconds. Not for me, it wasn't. We need the shot. Thank you, baby. 5. Thank you, love you. Thank you. All right, love you.
Next to the scale we have Makwan Amirkhani.
Hold still.
145.4.
Right here, baby. 5 seconds. Thank you.
Just wait. Next to the scale, Shane Burgos. Go! Go, Burgos!
Shane.
145.8.
Right here, Shane. 5. Thank you, baby.
Next to the scale, we have Lyman Good.
169.6.
Right Right here, Lyman. 5 seconds.
169.6 for Lyman. Good. Faces chance for encounter.
Next to scale, Julio Arce.
Julio Arce up next.
145.4.
Right here, Julio. This one.
145.4 for Julio Arce.
Take it back.
Good job.
Next to the scale, Gregor Gillespie.
Gregor Gillespie now. Facing former interim title challenger Kevin Lee on the main card. That is definitely a bout to keep an eye on.
155.4.
Right here, Gregor. Straight ahead.
155.4.
5.
Gillespie also on point.
Next to the scale, we have Chance from Country.
Chance from Country up next.
170.8.
Right here, Chance. Straight ahead. 5. Take it back.
Next to the scale, Evan Shabazian.
Up next, facing Brad Tavares in what will probably be a very interesting fight. Shabazian is definitely a fighter to keep an eye out on. He's looked very impressive in the UFC so far.
Side, please. 185 even.
Right here, babe. 5 seconds.
185 on the dot.
I think you.
Good job, sir.
Next to the scale, Corey Anderson.
Faces Johnny Walker, who weighed in first.
Socks as well, please, Corey. Still, please. 204.6. Good job.
Right here, babe. 5 seconds.
204.6. Anderson coming in at under maybe 205.
Next to the scale, Stephen Thompson.
Former title challenger Stephen Wonderboy Thompson up next.
$170.4. Good job.
Right here, babe. Straight ahead. 5.
70.4.
And 1. Thank you, babe.
Next to the scale, we have Caitlin Chukagian.
Chukagian up next. This is Jennifer Maria.
$125.4. Good job.
Right here, Caitlin. 5 seconds.
Quite a bit of support here for Caitlin Chukagian.
All right, right, next to the scale, Darren Till.
Let's see. So far, welterweight title challenger does his first cut to middleweight.
186 even.
Right here, Darren. 5
86
seconds.
even. Darren Till
Thank you, baby.
makes middleweight.
Good job, Darren.
All right, next to the scale, we have Derek Lewis.
Derek Lewis and Black Beats up next. I'm liking the comment section right now. It's funny stuff. I can't comment on everything being said, but keep it up, guys. No socks allowed. And Lewis looking leaner than he usually has been so far.
65 even.
Right here, Darren. 5
265
seconds, baby. 5. Thank you, baby. Easy. Yeah.
And we're on hold.
All right, we reached our first little break. We had quite a few fighters join in. All of them made it.
I don't have them.
As stated,
I
the
have them in
biggest
the office, but none of them are approved yet.
questions were probably surrounding Darren Till, and while he did look a little
They
bit
needed this week, so
drained, I was he made weight 186.
working on
Got a lot of problems.
Just gotta go through the process before. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the belt photos.
No.
Now, once I get back up to my room, I can send it. I'll send those to you guys. I can't airdrop anything. I have no way of getting up to my phone. Yeah.
Live chat is what is up, indeed. Last time we checked the odds on Masvidal Diaz, admittedly I haven't checked it in a while, but it was reasonably even between the two of them. But I think the consensus amongst most pundits is that Masvidal should have a slight edge. But then again, that is what people said when Diaz faced Anthony Pettis. They felt that, a lot of people felt that Pettis would have more weapons in his arsenal, that he would be a bit quicker, that he would be able to, use that distance, use his kicks. But Diaz did a fantastic job at closing the distance, making it a dirty fight, and not starting off slow like he has done before. To be completely honest, both Masvidal and Diaz have been somewhat criticized before for being slow starters, for perhaps losing the first round. I know that's something that we've seen from Masvidal. We've definitely seen it from Diaz, but that has changed very recently. We saw Masvidal put all those doubts to rest with his 5-second knockout over Ben Askren, but that was also very planned. Some people felt it was a fluke, but you know, you can see the footage of Masvidal training that specific flying knee. Now, the biggest question regarding weight might be Kevin Lee, perhaps, who's returning to lightweight after a short foray into welterweight. Lee's always been one of those kind of 165-pound sort of guys who's really drifting a little bit between lightweight and welterweight. Yes, Enzo Darren Till has stepped on the scale. He definitely looked a little drained, but he did make 186. So he has made middleweight, despite a lot of concerns that he wouldn't. I think most of us know that he has had problems reaching welterweight before, which obviously was one of the driving factors in prompting this move to middleweight. Another fighter ready to step on the scale.
All right, we got next to the scale, Sante Luque.
Sante Luque. We will be facing Stephen Wonderboy Thompson on the main card. That is definitely a fight you cannot miss.
170.2.
170.2. No struggles there.
Thank you, babe.
See if another fighter is brought out. Next to the scale, we got Nate Diaz.
Nate Diaz, over half of the main event, stepping out now. Nate's traditionally late to most things. Would not be a Nate Diaz thing if he was at least a little bit late, right? not surprised, however, at first.
One 170.4.
I can make 5 seconds.
170.4.
Think big. Stop.
Don't think there were any questions regarding the fact that Diaz will make weight or not. He has looked very good at welterweight. Looking like we're getting a little bit of a break now. So the main event is officially on. Both fighters on weight.
Every shot is intentional. Like I don't keep every shot.
Masvidal did weigh in. He made weight, no problems. Yes, Adonis, Jorge Masvidal did weigh in and he made weight. So if you're wondering why my commentary goes silent for a little bit, it's because I'm also trying to edit snippets of the weigh-ins, but I'm shooting separately as well. So, grinding. No, Nate Diaz actually, Robin, Nate Diaz did weigh in. He weighed in at 170.4. Definitely had no issues. He looked good. Run down the list a little quick and see who has not weighed in yet. In regards to the main card, Kelvin Gastelum has not yet weighed in. Neither has Leroy Ivanov or Kevin Lee. On the prelims, Brad Tavares, Andre Arlovsky, Yair Rosenstreich have not weighed in. Neither has Jennifer Maya or Hakeem Dawood. So there are 8 fighters remaining who have not yet weighed in. A charger from the good old Australian boys from Submission Radio. Excuse me, my man. Okay, we are charging. Looks like the battery on my Samsung is doing pretty good though. Because I don't roll with no iPhone. Ant was wondering about Nate Diaz. In about 2 minutes, you can catch his individual weigh-in on MMAnytt's YouTube channel right here. So you can just open up a new page, stay on the live stream. We got some good banter coming. And yeah, you can check out Diaz's individual weigh-in shortly. All right, we are back. So, yes, Nate Diaz, Josh Jasper, Nate Diaz has weighed in. Check out MMAnytt YouTube channel. You can see his individual weigh-in is now up and running. So yes, I was just editing and then uploading the Nate Diaz weigh-in, and then I actually had time to run out to the bathroom and wash my hands, like you should always do. So let's just take a quick stroll through the comment section here. No problem, Robin. We got you covered. AMN wonders who you got, peeps. Diaz round 3 ground and pound or submission, if you ask me. Okay, interesting. Brandon D says Nate by decision. I mean, there is a reason that Nate Diaz is such a fan favorite. He's got one of the most entertaining fighting styles and personalities in the whole UFC, in my opinion. And I'm so glad that he is finally getting the respect that he deserves. Josh Jasper, yes, he has weighed in. I believe he weighed in at 170.4, if I'm not mistaken. Check out our YouTube channel, MMAnytt. Just open up the videos and you should find Nate Diaz's separate weigh-in there, so you can see him flex up true Stockton style. So yes, Josh Jasper, I hope you found the weigh-in video with Diaz. He was a little bit late, as is perhaps to be expected from the Diaz brothers. Brandon E says, I wonder, it worries me that Kevin Lee hasn't weighed in yet. Yeah, well, I think the two with highest, I guess, risk of missing weight would probably be Kevin Lee and, to some extent, Kelvin Gastelum. Much more so Kevin Lee because, you know, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, he is sort of like a 165er, basically. I mean, he recently tried his luck at welterweight against Rafael Dos Anjos. It did not go his way. He's back down now. And, I mean, he is definitely big for the weight class. He would definitely be a perfect fit for a hypothetical 165 weight class. So it is possible that Lee has not made weight. Okay, I just saw two paramedics.
All right.
It is Jairzinho Rosenstruik.
I'm good. Georgino Rosenstruck. To the scale.
Tough game. I thought I mispronounced that name, but I think I did a little bit better. Jairzinho was hoping to just step on the scale. Chances are no problems of weight there.
246.2.
246.2, way under the heavyweight limit. Rosenstruik faces former UFC champion Andrei Arlovsky on the preliminary card. That should be a cracker of a fight. I'm not expecting it to go to decision. Okay, so who has not weighed in yet? I make promo trail. Okay, no, man, no advertising here, man. Anyway, who has not weighed in yet? It is Kelvin Gastelum. It is Blagoy Ivanov. It is Kevin Lee. Brad Tavares. Andrei Arlovsky. Jennifer Maya. And Hakeem Dawodu. Alright, I'm just going to take a quick look at the edit we have. Although I think we may have a fighter coming out shortly. No, perhaps not. Okay, no. I will be right back with some more commentary after a little edit.
Your argument's already. All right, we have Boy Ivanov.
Ivanov or Ivanov, I'm not sure pronunciation of next.
$257.4. I have a boy.
257.4 for Burgoy Ivanov.
Thank you. What was the weight?
257.
Try to do it. I don't know how to do that. You got a problem.
because it's right in covers their face.
Tell you what,
That works.
compliment.
Yeah, that works. That works so much.
Give me.
I know.
Yeah. All right, so we have both Derek Lewis and Grigor Ivanov on weight. Seems we have a little bit more death time, so I'm actually going to return to the edit real quick, and I will return.
But for every day from now, I think I'm beginning to get this. I think that's what they want to do. Really better than myself. Which one's better?
They're both sick. Sick. They're amazing. You would never need to really travel unless you're a professional photographer. You can edit everything.
It takes great pictures. That's pretty much how I use it. But I think it's a picture last night that I don't know what it's called. It's like the statue thing that you see when you watch movies here.
Yeah.
And it was dark outside. This. Yeah, and I was across the street on the steps of a church. So I think listening to.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't using it.
All right, we are back. You can now see the individual weigh-ins for Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal, and Darren Till on MMAnytt, MMAnytt's YouTube channel. All right, so once again, the fighters who have not yet weighed in are Kelvin Gastelum, Kevin Lee, Brad Tavares, Andre Arlovsky, and it looks like we have somebody.
To the scale, Andre Arlovsky.
Here we have
Mr. Arlovsky.
The Andre Pitbull Arlovsky.
Arlovsky in a good mood here.
Shorts and socks, sir. Shorts and socks? Yes, please. I don't have underwear. No, I'm not. Check the pockets,
You should have taken them out one at a time.
$244 even.
Right here, babe. Wait, you know, now you can do the thing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you, babe.
Alright, so that was by far the funniest weigh-in so far. Courtesy of Andre, the comedian, Arlovsky.
Thank you.
Alright, so I saw a comment come up here. Craig Kahn wonders, has Darren Till weighed in? And yes, he did. He made 186 even. I see here Brandon E. wondering how long they have left to weigh in. They have about 40 minutes left to weigh in. And once again, for those wondering, you can watch the individual weigh-ins for Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal, and Darren Till, all of which are up as separate videos on MMAnytt's YouTube channel. And now I'm gonna have myself a couple strawberries.
All right, we got one, Heidi.
All right.
King Dawodu. Scale. We're using the hoop.
Okay, it seems Hakeem Dawodu will need a towel or the hoop, as it now is.
Your side relax. 145.8.
145.
Wait, put the one back on first.
Dawodu made weight, but needed the assistance of the now official UFC hoop, I guess they're calling it.
Step on the scale for me, babe. He's right here, straight ahead.
He was looking shredded. Great cheese on those abs.
Thank you, babe.
Good job, sir.
Guys, small thing, but if we use that again, can you turn it so that the UFC to the front? Thank you.
take another rundown over who has not yet weighed in. Jennifer Maya has not weighed in. Brad Tavares has not weighed in. Let's see here. Kelvin Gastelum not weighed in, and Kevin Lee not weighed in. So the biggest question marks are probably around Gastelum and Lee, more specifically Lee. He has had issues with the weight cut before, and he definitely seemed to be in good spirits yesterday at the media day. He didn't seem particularly drained or such, but then again, I mean, it is usually the morning of the weigh-ins that is the absolutely most taxing. You can a lot of times feel good the night before, but you won't always necessarily do so the day after when you're supposed to weigh in. I can attest to that myself. I weighed a couple times for competition, and you know, you can feel great the night before, just feel like everything's on point, and then sometimes you just have like an off sleep, an off night, or an off morning, and things are not as smooth.
Kevin Lee.
All right, it seems Kevin Lee is on his way out.
Kevin Lee?
Here we have Kevin Lee weighing in.
Glad you told me to come.
155.6.
Right here, Kevin. Right there, baby.
55.6.
Thank you, love.
There you have it. Kevin Lee has made it back to lightweight successfully. And I guess, contrary to what some were expecting, he actually did make it even under the 156-pound limit. So it was a little bit under. There you have it. But it definitely did take time. And I think, you know, let's be honest here. I think a lot of us kind of were wondering if the delay had something to do with a tough weight cut. And he did seem a little bit drained, without doubt. But I mean, then again, he is big for the weight class, so it's not too surprising. And at the end of the day, he did make weight, so. I will return shortly. I'm just gonna get myself some more fruit. Budhex is wondering, who is left? Let's check out the fight card real quick. Okay, so Budhex, we are still waiting for Calvin Gastelum, Brad Tavares, and Jennifer Maia. So now I guess the biggest questions surround perhaps Kelvin Gastelum, who did miss weight on several occasions at welterweight, has found much more success at middleweight. The remaining fighters have half an hour left to weigh in. And so, for those in attendance, waiting just like we are here, let us know in the comments what fights, aside from the obvious main event choice, what fights are you looking forward to the most? Any fights that you guys think are flying under the radar? I think an obvious choice for that is Corey Anderson versus Johnny Walker. That should be a very exciting bout. And if Walker wins there, he might very well skip the line at light heavyweight because he is a very exciting star with a lot of attention around him. I think the featherweight bout between Shane Burgos and Makwan Amikani should be very fun too. Those are two very skilled guys, high intensity, high pace. And obviously Brad Tavares versus Edmund Shabazian should also be very good. I'm very excited to see how Shabazian does against a seasoned UFC veteran, the likes of Brad Tavares, who has gone 5 rounds with Israel Adesanya. MMAnytt live stream of the official UFC 244 weigh-ins. This is reporter Specimen Martinez here on site, being assisted back home by Asha Tafari. And remaining fighters have less than half an hour now to weigh in. Alright, so we have about 20 minutes until the official weigh-ins come to a conclusion. Brandon E. writes, rest in peace, Kelvin, Taco Killer Gaston. Well, we're not sure if he's missing weight yet, but the fact that he hasn't shown up is definitely a little bit disconcerting. It would be an ironic twist of fate if Gastelum was the one to miss weight when it was in fact Darren Till who arrived to the U.S. late with some travel and visa issues.
Heidi, you ready?
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. Go, Brad Tavares.
Tavares coming in looking a little drained.
$184.6.
I hit Brad.
184.6.
Ready at 5 seconds.
Under 185 even.
Thank you, babe.
So Brad Tavares definitely on weight. Perhaps a little too on weight. about another 15 minutes until the official weigh-ins are over. So remaining to step on the scale is Kelvin Gastelum and Jennifer Maia. And it's interesting because Gastelum he's looked very good while he's been here, both for all press events and things like that. He's been high spirits, high energy, and it is disconcerting that he has not yet weighed in. We had a really smooth run in the beginning, where I think all except 8 fighters weighed in at the very beginning. I think we might have another fighter coming out shortly. So let's just prepare a bit over camera just in case. And taking a look around, it seems that media members, including myself, are getting a little bit restless. It's been an early morning. Check-ins for this was at 8 o'clock. So if you want to get good seats, which I have now at the very front, that means you got to be here like an hour before. So that means I was here at 7, which means we left the Airbnb at about 6:30. So, yeah, it has been an early morning. And we were out for some Halloween festivities in town as well in Greenwich Village. Hope you all had a fun Halloween as well. And today there will be a lot of stuff going on. We will be interviewing Jeff Nowitzki, and then we have 2 press conferences and the ceremonial weigh-in. We have a press conference with The Rock, who has some kind of announcement. And we also have a press conference ahead of the UFC 245. So we will have all 3 champions and title contenders on stage. So we will have Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington, Max Holloway, Alexander Volkanovski, Amanda Nunes, and Jermaine Durand. So we have another 12 minutes for Kelvin Gastelum and Jennifer Maia to weigh in, and things are now getting a little bit more tense. Time is running out, and the question remains, will Gastelum and Maia be on the way? We have somebody on their way out.
We got Jennifer Maia.
Jennifer Maia next. Jennifer Maia faces Catherine Chukagian on the preliminary card. 22, so she is not on weight. It seems that she will be trying to use the hoop. Okay, we'll see how Jennifer Maia fares weight-wise with the hoop. She was at 127.2 just now.
Relax, please. 127.2.
Still 127.2. It's interesting, even without her undergarments. She did not make weight. So she is more than a pound over the allowed limit. And
Just
she
on a scale
looks
from
weak.
Can she? Is she okay? Right here. Thank you. Obrigado.
Alright, so that was the first fighter to miss weight. And I say first because we are still awaiting Jennifer Maia enters the bout on the back of 2 straight wins over established veterans Alexis Davis and Roxanne Modafferi, but has now missed weight against Catherine Chukagian, who has won actually 4 out of her last 5 bouts. And we are still awaiting Kelvin Gastelum, who faces Darren Till in the co-main event. Gastelum is hot off of his 5-round war with Israel Adesanya, which was one of the best fights of the year. It was a fantastic back-and-forth bout, and despite losing at the end by a decision, I do think that Gastelum really showed a lot of heart, and that in some ways was a bit of a moral victory because he just got up time and time again and really showed the heart of a champion. He was definitely in it to win it, but ended up losing a decision. Meanwhile, his opponent Darren Till, coming off of 2 straight losses at welterweight. Those losses were, however, against top-notch competition such as Jorge Masvidal and former welterweight champ Tyron Woodley. There's not a lot of time left for Kelvin Gastelum now. He has about 7 minutes to weigh in.
I'm going to run to
Question remains, will Gastelum make weight? And will this weight cut affect his performance? He has been the betting favorite over Darren Till going into the bout, which is somewhat understandable. After all, Darren Till is making his debut at middleweight, and despite being...
By the way,
about the size of a normal middleweight. He's still a big step up, and Kelvin Gastelum is one tough customer. He is a hard fight for anyone, win, lose, or draw.
No, I don't. Which is why I gotta run.
Here we go. We have some developments. Did have the officials step out. So it seems that Kelvin Gastelum is probably on his way. I hear you, Kevin 15 Chopper. Diaz brothers probably are the OGs of a BMF style. I think perhaps some old school fans can make the argument that Tito Ortiz was perhaps the original BMF, or at least the first bad boy as such, to really break through. Okay, this is interesting. We have cameras going up behind the curtain.
All right, last fight of the scale, Kelvin Gastelum.
And here we have Gastelum. And he does look flustered. He definitely seems to have had a tough weight cut. He asked for a towel right away. Alright, so let's see. Kelvin Gastelum will need the assistance of the hoop. We're still waiting for preparations here, and here comes Kelvin Gastelum. In need of a towel. Okay, he thought that he was going to get the hoop, but he's just getting the UFC towel.
Hands inside, please. Relax. Hands inside, please. 180. Still. 184 even.
He made it how under the limit even. Perhaps he got a little bit too much.
On the scale, Calvin. Right here, baby. 5 seconds.
Wait, look at my hair, right?
Fix your hair, baby.
Hey!
Thank you, baby. That's it, everybody.
All right, and that concludes the official.
Yes, sir. Is it immediate cost?
Okay, actually, no, it doesn't. We also have Jared Cannonier
Oh, it's still.
making weight as reserve in case something should happen. to either Kelvin Gastelum or Darren Till. Interesting because Kelvin Gastelum says he would not want to face Jared Kennedy on short notice.
187 even.
187 is we did not make the 186 limit. However, now that both Gastelum and Till have made weight, one wonders if perhaps this weight cut was for naught. Okay, he's gonna wipe off some more sweat and give it another shot.
Hey, let's go have fun, baby!
186.8.
186.8, so still not enough. You just got a peak of a little bit more than we were expecting. There we go again. Towel should probably be adjusted a little bit.
Get a quick shot of you on camera, Jared. Real quick.
Jared Kennedy, you're coming up for the TKO win over Jack Hermansson in Copenhagen.
Thank you, babe.
All right, and there we have it. That concludes the official UFC weigh-ins. We want to thank you all for sticking with us, and stay tuned for more premier MMA content and coverage here on MMAnytt. Thank you once again, and we will see you next time.